30 minutes to warm it again. So everybody cross your fingers.
It's going to be good.
Cross your fingers, cross your toes, it turns out, because I tell you what, it took hours.
This is why I don't have friends and family, because I would just go to McDonald's. They got the 20-pack of spicy nuggets on sale for $6. I just have like 7 or 8 of those, maybe a variety of ranches.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And you call it a day.
That's dinner.
Barry just said I'm hired.
Yeah.
Yeah, over there at the El Gato or the Tourmet.
Now you're
well,
in
let's
trouble.
taste it first, Barry, before we decide if it's...
The good news is that you didn't have to make homemade phyllo dough. Could you imagine doing that?
Yeah.
Like that's an art form.
Yes, that's
if
that
you've ever
really
seen that made, it's an art form.
Really
seriously.
thin dough. And Scott's grandmother used to make it, and she would lay it out on sheets because it's so thin.
Oh,
but
yeah.
no, I'm not making that. No way, Jose.
I have no clue what any of this is.
You don't.
I know what
It's
what
the dough that's in the baklava.
Baklava.
Oh, okay.
Aren't you coming to dinner tomorrow night?
Sure,
Okay.
why not?
You can taste it all. You can try it all. Fantastic.
But, yeah, I know what a gyro is.
Yeah, gyro. It's pronounced gyro, but yeah, those are delicious too, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I love Greek food. Oh, and I made homemade tzatziki sauce as well.
Oh, good.
So
Good,
that's just Greek yogurt and cucumbers. Again, you got to squeeze them. You got to grate the cucumber, and then you got to squeeze the water out of them. Barry liked my term, squeeze the veggies. But
what would he call it?
I don't know. Yeah.
If it's not squeezing, then what is it?
I mean,
milking?
You know what it said?
Press?
It said gently put pressure.
Press.
Yeah, press it. But I squeezed it between 2 baking pans. I mean, I really did. I didn't do it gently either. I was like,
Get it done.
That's right. And so you grate the cucumber, and then you got to squeeze the water out of it. There's a lot of water in cucumber.
Yeah.
Or your sauce will be watery.
Yeah.
And then garlic and olive oil, and then just a pinch of salt and pepper, and that's it. Mix it together, but you got to make it at least a day ahead because that garlic has to open up inside the yogurt. Yeah. And so, I was a very busy girl yesterday.
You can tell.
Very domestic.
Yes, I know. I loved it. I felt very productive.
Was Scott happy when he came home?
Yes.
You're domestic. You were in the kitchen.
Well, he came home, and I'm like, okay, I need your help. I'm like, measure out all these spices and put them in these little dishes like they do in the cooking show, right? The spices. I mean, and I felt like this is the best part of the whole process is pouring the little spices that are pre-measured by your husband. Yeah.
What it's like Julia Childs,
yes.
but with Leza Live.
Yes,
and that's then the next streaming show.
That's the next show. Yeah,
Yep.
We're gonna have a cooking show right here. We can get a little burner. Barry can bring in some ingredients, and we can just chop things up. It'll be really fun. We need a camera that shoots down at the table, though.
That might be tough because we can't even get a camera for me and
That's
Drew.
true.
So.
That's true. Well, we'll just have to describe what we're doing. Let's just describe what we're doing.
We're chopping things up.
Right. Yeah.
But then it won't be free food for us Friday. It'll be work for food for us Friday.
True. And I doubt that we could cook it by the end of the show.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
You know what they do, though, is they prepare one, and they have it in the oven all ready to go. And so then they cut everything up, and they prepare it like they're doing it live, and then they put that aside, and then they pull it out of the oven, and it's done.
Now we're getting crazy. We're going to have to get an oven, too.
Know,
that might be pushing the electrical limits of this building.
And our budget.
Maybe just an air fryer.
Yeah.
And our budget. All right. So, that was my day yesterday. Looking forward to today because we have conversations with Carol coming up. I'm looking forward to that. Tamara Player and Lauren Lauder are going to join us. I have to tell you guys that today you can see Santa Claus. He's going to be up at the Pine Ridge Marketplace for the Pine Ridge Marketplace Holiday Tree Lighting Ceremony and Mini Parade. It's taking place between 5:30 and 7 at the Pine Ridge Marketplace, formerly known as Prescott Gateway Mall. It's free, and you can go on up there and see Santa. There's going to be live music, hot chocolate, and activities for the entire family. So what a fun way to kick off your Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah. Matt, you can go pick up your coal.
Yeah, perfect.
See?
Yeah, you can go see if you're on the naughty or nice list.
Oh, we all know.
You have to ask.
Right?
So if you watch the film Red One, which I reviewed a few weeks
Yes,
ago,
you
they
did.
have different levels of the naughty list. And I am definitely a level 4 offender.
Is that right? Is that the highest?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. What about you, Drew? You've been naughty or nice? I think you've been very nice.
I'm on the good list.
Yeah, you're on the nice list. I'm on the nice list too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the rebel. You got to have at least one rebel in this trio.
True.
So.
True. One rebel, absolutely. So, daily designations today, the start of Thanksgiving travel week. This year, AAA predicts nearly 80 million Americans will travel at least 50 miles for the Thanksgiving holiday. Most of them, about 71 million, will get behind the wheel. They think the reason for the record high travel is cheaper gas. We can all thank God for that this holiday season. It hasn't been this low since the beginning of the pandemic when no one was driving. So there's something to be thankful for. Here's another thing. Today is National Cake Day.
Maddie Cakes.
Maddie Cakes
No wonder.
Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can look for freebies and deals at participating Mrs. Fields, Boston Market, and the Cheesecake Factory. We have none of those, so I don't know why I mentioned it. Did you know a study of Google Trends found that America's favorite flavor of cake wasn't chocolate or red velvet?
Oh, red velvet's the best.
It's what? What do you think it is?
Vanilla.
Probably
Nope.
something boring
Nope.
like
Nope.
ice cream.
Ice cream cake.
Yeah.
You
It's
remember
not
that
boring.
from
I
last
love
year.
ice cream.
You remember
No,
that?
I
No?
don't.
Yeah.
I just like ice
What
cream.
kind of ice cream do you get in your ice cream cake?
A swirl, like the
Oh.
Rocky Road, like
Oh.
swirl kind of.
Okay, most people get, well, I guess we get chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip?
Yeah.
That's good.
Baskin Robbins chocolate chip is very good because it's like a flake, not a whole chip. A whole chip will break your tooth, but the flakes just melt in your mouth.
True.
It's delicious.
Maybe mint chocolate. That's always good. Mint chocolate
yeah,
chip.
mint chocolate chip with
Yeah.
a chocolate cake.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That might be that's a lot of chocolate.
I don't know. I don't even know if that's technically cake, an ice cream cake.
I
That's
don't
just
think
like
so.
a whole. That's like
That's like a whole dessert.
exactly. So the Price is Right aired for the first time 68 years ago today. Can you believe that? The original version aired in 1956 in primetime. It was hosted by Bill Cullen before it was reimagined as a CBS daytime show with the host that we all love, Bob Barker. Drew Carey took over in 2007. But yeah, one thing never changed, losing your mind when you win a car. Absolutely.
Even if it's a small little giveaway car.
It doesn't matter.
Give me a car, I'll
Right.
lose it.
I would totally be horrible at the Price is Right. You have to be one of those people that does the grocery shopping in the family to know what prices are. Sometimes I will do. I mean, I do, but I go in and I get like what we need and get out. Scott goes in and he like spends time. Anyway,
that's weird.
So I have no idea what things cost. I'm always like, wow, really? Milk costs that much?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jamie said, I got to go to the store. And then she goes, I made a list. I said, well, give me the list. And she gave it to me. And I went and I said, I got my thing out. And I said, here. And I handed her a whole stack of coupons. And she went in there. She goes, that was a lot of money they took off.
Yeah, it makes a
I'm
difference.
a coupon queen.
I'm not anymore after my situation at the CVS. I tried once and I failed, so nope.
Well, it was CVS. That's the problem.
Scott loves coupons too. He uses the app at Safeway and he saves a ton of money.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he loves to do that.
I just do curbside pickup. I can't stand going inside anymore. I've just given up completely.
Right? Or a delivery, Costco
No,
delivery.
I don't do delivery. I'm close enough.
We
It's
do.
like 2 minutes away.
We
so.
do Costco delivery. It's
Yeah.
lovely. All right. Should we move forward? All right, coming up, like I said, it's Conversations with Carol Chamberlain. Stick around for that. Join in on the conversation. The lines are open. 928-541-1016 is our number. Right now, life's full of surprises, as we all know, right? But a dental emergency doesn't have to be one of them. When you're in pain, turn to the experts at Pro Solutions Dental Group. Their friendly staff understands that emergencies can happen anytime, anywhere, and that's why they're here for you when you need them the most. With cutting-edge technology and compassionate care, they'll have you feeling better in a flash. Don't let tooth troubles hold you back. Call Pro Solutions Dental Group today and put that smile back on your face. 928-776-1208 is their number. Reach them online at PrescottDentist.com. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News, 103.5 FM, KYCA, video streaming worldwide.
Woo!
Live online at kyca.info. Good morning, Carol Chamberlain.
Good morning, lovely Leza. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am really good, and it's so good to see you back in your seat.
Thank you. Thank you for taking over for us.
Oh, my gosh. I was delighted to do that.
Well, I was gone. I really appreciate it.
Impossible to fill those shoes, but fun trying.
I heard that you did a really good job.
Well, thank you so much.
I was a little worried when I came back, actually, that they were going to say, we have a new host of Leza Live.
No. Oh, never.
Well, it's Conversations with Carol. We like to do this once a month. We would really like to do it every day.
Oh, boy, you just about do. You have such good conversations anyway.
Well, thank you. That's thanks to Maddie Cakes over here.
Oh, Maddie Cakes is
no.
good.
Yeah,
That,
here we
that
go.
shrinking man is so good.
I was gonna say it's been what, like 2 weeks? And
Uh-huh.
it feels like it's been like 12 years since
Aw,
I've
It was
how
like
sweet.
a reunion in the
It
lobby.
was.
I love
seen
it.
Carol. It's okay. She'll just get her own show now.
Yeah.
We'll just do Carol right after you, right?
There you go.
Absolutely
There you
not.
go.
I'm a Leza Live fill-in. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank goodness for that. And we have two lovely ladies with us today for our conversations. Would you like to introduce them
I
for
would
us?
absolutely love that. A good friend of mine, Tamara Player, who is the CEO of Polera, I have known for quite a while with my work at the ACF of Yavapai County. So Tamara Player and her good friend, Lauren Lauder, whose name I absolutely
I know.
adore.
I said the same thing as soon as I said it.
It's going to go with one of our questions later.
Oh, nice.
Lauren is the deputy CEO of Spectrum. So we
Wow.
are filled with some very powerful women this morning.
Love it.
Yes.
Absolutely
So do
love
I.
it.
But the neat thing is,
Yes.
Tamara, one time we were talking about Polera and all the things that she was doing, and Matt said something about, well, one of your fun shows, and she said, I want to be on a fun show. So that's why Tamara's here.
Well, I'm glad you're here. So nice to have you both with us this morning. Carol usually prepares some questions, and then we just kind of go around the table and discuss them.
All right.
Well, and I'm really excited to do this. And the first one really was sort of brought on by Lauren.
Yeah.
So, Lauren, if you could have chosen your name, what name would you choose?
Oh, that is a great question. And I actually just had this conversation with my 14-year-old daughter because her name starts with L.
Of course.
Yes, of course. Her name is Lana. And she was like, what if I wanted to change my name? I'm like, well, you can do that, but you have a pretty cool name. And if I could have chosen my name, which I honestly would never change my name. I love my
No.
middle name.
What is that?
It's Paige.
Oh, nice.
So I'm Lauren Paige Lauder.
Beautiful.
And
It just
anytime
rolls off, doesn't it?
Yes. The only thing I would potentially change my name to is Lola.
Oh.
Another.
That was my answer.
Oh no, really?
I'm another Lola. Why?
I
Why
love
would,
it.
I
It
love
just-
Lola too.
Yes, it feels a little exotic, yet not at the same time.
Right.
And maybe there's a story behind it. I mean, people always ask me, like, what's the story behind your name? It goes together so well. And also, let me tell you, it always gets mispronounced. I'm
Oh.
Laura, Lauren, Louder,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Lander. It always gets mispronounced. So I asked my mom, like, how did you pick my name and my middle name? She said, I just liked it and it sounded good.
Like, I need a story, Mom.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, I was thinking Esty was taken.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And that's usually how I tell people when they're struggling pronouncing my name. I'm like, Estee Lauder. And they're like, you're related to her? No, I would not look like this if I were related to
But I
her.
wish I were.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Tamara, your turn.
Oh, what I would name myself if I could? Oh,
Would you? What would you change your name to
Okay.
if it weren't Tamara?
Probably Elizabeth.
Why?
Oh.
Very queen-like.
Exactly.
Very regal.
No, I think my dad always gave us nicknames, and Elizabeth or Lisbeth was his nickname for me.
Really?
And so I was just like, oh, I really like that. It sounds queen-like, but there's also this presence about it, right?
Yeah.
That I was just like, oh, not as cool as Lauren, of course, and Lola. I was like, oh, Lola, but that Lola's not me. Lola
Yeah.
is not me at all. That's definitely you. You could pull it off. Yeah.
Elizabeth also has a lot of different ways you can go with it.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
Liz, Lizzie,
Betty.
Beth, Betty. Yeah.
I
You have no
understood that
Betty. No Betty. I'm not a Betty.
No,
one. No, you're
No.
definitely not a Betty. So why Lola?
I always thought that when I have grandkids someday that I'd be Lola. And but I'm not.
That's a great grandma name.
But we changed it because I have some grand puppies, and we were saying Gma for for grandma, and then it just kind of turned into Gemma. So now it's going to be Gemma, I think.
Oh, actually,
But I
Gemma's
always
fine.
thought I'd be Lola as a grandma. And I have a funny story about my daughter because her name is Dempsey, and that's my mom's maiden name.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's such a beautiful.
It
beautiful
really
name.
is. It really is. And a great honor to my mom.
No question.
And so, but when she was probably 4 or 5, she asked her other grandma, Scott's mom, if she could change her name to Gypsy. And Yaya said yes. And she goes, will you write a note to my mom? And I have the note still, and it said, Dempsey's name has now been changed to Gypsy. And Dempsey came home and she presented it to me.
Oh, that's
Isn't that funny? But she loves her name now.
Well, she certainly should.
She should.
Both of your daughters
Yeah.
have beautiful
Yeah,
names.
Thank you.
So if I were to change my name, it would have to be a C because I've always been C squared.
Right.
I've been C squared since I learned what squared was.
Sure.
And so the only C name that I could think of is Chloe.
Oh.
But I said that to I talked to my sister last night, and
Yeah.
she said, "Oh, you're no Chloe."
Oh,
You're really not.
leave it to sisters.
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah,
Brutally
like,
honest.
no, you might pick that for yourself, but that's not you.
She actually said, "Do you mind if I think of a couple?"
Did she come up with some before the
Yeah.
end of the call?
No.
Oh.
What's her name? Your sister's name?
Oh, her name is Cecilia. She goes by Celie.
Oh, that's
And-
cute.
Oh, but she would prefer Cecily. Her dream name is
yes.
Cecily.
Cecily.
I love
Yeah,
that
but if
name.
she'd thought of that earlier, she could have done that when she went to college.
Sure.
But she
could've.
didn't.
But she didn't. So too bad.
That's exactly right.
Awesome.
So you have one that you wanted to ask.
Oh, I was going to ask. We talked about this yesterday. If you could have any celebrity, dead or alive, have Thanksgiving dinner with you, who would you choose? We'll start with you.
Oh my
Tamara.
gosh.
Yeah.
Any celebrity, dead or alive?
Yeah.
This is a tough one. I thought it would be so easy, but it's pretty tough.
It is tough. It is tough. Yesterday, I had the executive director of Charlotte Hall Museum on, and he said Charlotte Hall. And I'm like, oh, that's such a smart answer. Mine was the Kelsey brothers. I felt really dumb. Yes.
It's funny.
I think Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. He tops the list, by the way.
Really?
Yes. Morgan Freeman.
Is that because
tops
people
the
want to
list.
hear him talk in person?
I'm sure. I'm
Well, I think his
sure.
voice, I just think he's like led this amazing life. And like, even if you think of the movies he's been in, like all these characters he's played,
Right.
and just like, I think he'd be cool.
Yeah.
Would
and
be cool.
Didn't he play God in some movie? And he was the voice of God.
I don't.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
there's that
There-
too.
There's that too.
He'd go very well with Elizabeth the Queen.
Mhm. He sure would. He sure would.
So how about
Oh, I
you?
feel like I really have to come up with something good for this. Oh. Okay, celebrities, which this is the other piece, and I feel like I probably have a little different definition of celebrity, so I will out myself and say I am one of those people where you are having a conversation and it's, have you seen this movie? And I have to say, no.
No.
Have you watched this show? No. I'll put it on my list. There's really no list.
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah.
not a thing.
Right.
So I'm going to pick a person that may not feel like a celebrity to all of you,
Right.
but Mother Teresa.
Oh, sure.
Because I feel like it's similar to kind of what we were talking about a little bit earlier, and it's a whole different time. And it's all about just giving and being present and kind of sacrificing yourself for the greater good and wondering what that feels like
Right.
and how you embody that.
Boy. Good answer.
So, Leza, now I know how you felt the other day. 'cause
Exactly.
I feel stupid. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. I mean, you know,
Exactly.
Morgan,
I don't know.
Freeman.
Kelsey brothers, Teresa,
Wait till you hear mine.
Let's hear it.
Melania Trump.
Oh.
I can't wait to hear
tell.
why.
Yeah.
Do
Questions you
tell.
could ask.
The questions I could ask.
Oh,
That's
man.
exactly why. And she's a very bright woman. She's beautiful, and she wouldn't eat a lot, I don't think.
More for everybody else.
I think
Would
that
she
would-
bring a date? Is that what you're hoping?
she could bring her date. That would be just fine with me.
I
I
think
love
that you two probably would have some great fashion outfits together too.
Yes.
Like
Oh,
you
thank
could
you so much,
compare,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you would complement each other well.
Good point, Lauren Lauder. Yep.
She looks pretty good in her clothes.
You
Anyway.
know what? Let's take a quick break and come back.
All righty.
With more conversations with Carol this morning on Leza Live. Right now, you all should know, if you don't know already, that the Artful Eye Jewelers is having a big Black Friday special coming up this Friday from 10 until 5:30. You're going to want to get in line and be at the door at 10 because the first 30 shoppers will get an Artful Eye goodie bag containing jewelry. I know, right? Plus, one lucky shopper is going to receive a pair of 1 carat weight lab diamond stud earrings valued at $900. They're going to have 60% off select jewelry as well. So be sure to make your first stop on Black Friday at the Artful Eye Jewelers, middle of Whiskey Row, downtown Prescott. Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's Leza Live on the News 103.5 FM KYCA. This morning we're having conversations with Carol along with Tamara Player and Lauren Lauder this morning. And Carol has the next question.
I do, and I'm going to preface this because when you were gone, we had conversations with Carol with all men.
And who was here?
So Ken, my husband, Ken Mabrak was here, and Don Beely, a great friend of ours. And then we had Maddie and Drew.
Okay.
And we asked all the same questions that we ask of women.
Yeah.
And there was one that not single one of them could answer. So I thought I'd ask you two.
All right.
Okay. What 3 words do you think others most commonly use to describe you, Tamara?
Oh, wow. Well, the ones that I can repeat on the radio.
There is a 3-second delay, but I don't think Jason would like. Yes.
So consistent with the name Elizabeth, I think people would describe me as tender-hearted and tough-minded, and grateful.
Lovely.
Actually, those are three
Those are great.
wonderful words.
Yes.
And
Yes.
just off the top of your head, you
Right.
thought of that.
Yeah, because again, there's some of those other words that I hear.
You substitute.
That you tell yourself or that you hear from other people?
Yes.
So, Lauren, how about you?
Oh, I do. I am a little envious that you were able to come up with such eloquent words right off the top. Mine are not as eloquent. Kind, generous, and loyal.
Fabulous.
See, those are wonderful, wonderful words.
Yes.
So, why do you think the men couldn't do that? Well, you all are in mental health.
These are maybe things we can't say. I think this is another one of those we can't say on the radio thing.
I agree. It's because I'm not allowed to swear on the radio, Carol. I got in trouble a couple times already.
Oh, that's
what it
so
is.
funny. I don't know why. I wonder why they couldn't answer those questions.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Right.
I'm sure they have amazing quality.
Right.
I wonder if you would have been able to tell them 3 things.
Were
that
you able to
describe
do
them
that?
too.
Absolutely,
Yes.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, just right off the bat, I
Right.
could tell both of them.
And did they agree? I mean, did
They
they?
absolutely
Yeah,
agreed.
yeah.
So
Maybe they just didn't want to admit it, or there was
I don't know.
I don't know, a weird thing about that.
It's just
Admitting that that's how they hope people are describing them.
perhaps. Okay, let's lighten it up a little bit.
Okay.
So, what are those things that you're too old to do, but you still enjoy? Too old to do, but you still enjoy. Let's start with Leza.
Gosh, that's really tough.
Mm.
Too old to do, but I still enjoy.
Well,
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is trick or treating, but I don't trick or treat because I feel like I'm too old to trick or treat. But otherwise, I don't feel like I'm too old to enjoy
okay.
things.
Well, that's a really.
Let me think about it.
Actually, that's a really good thing. Can
Yeah.
you think of something, Lauren?
Yes, I have 2 that I still do, and there are times I feel like might be too old to do this, and they are similar. It's ice skating and roller skating. And I mean, I could probably tell you why, but it's precarious at times. Like, I don't wear a helmet, I don't wear elbow guards, I just go for it.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
the only thing I'd be worried about is can you get up?
Right. Well, the key is to try not to be in that situation
Right.
where I have to get up. So I
Yeah.
do everything to possibly avoid that.
That's good.
Yeah.
I could just see those roller skates
Yep.
when you're trying to get your footing.
Yes.
Okay. How about you, Tamara?
So I still feel 36. So I still feel very young, right? And so
my age is 35, so we're really close.
Oh yes, it's wonderful to still feel that
Yes.
way. So the only thing I can think of is when I was younger than 36, I used to love to drive fast. Like
Don't you
any police.
still?
Any police officers don't listen, turn it down. So I lost a race going 122 on these back streets in really rural Maine. Very stupid. Don't ever do this, kids.
Right.
If you're listening, do not do
Do this at home.
But I think I got smarter and was just like, I shouldn't do that anymore.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
when you were talking about going fast, I was not thinking 122.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I could go down Pioneer Parkway with great music
Right.
on, or
You'd be
Leza,
fine. You'd
and
be fine.
like, wouldn't that be awesome? Like,
yeah.
I can feel the adrenaline already.
Right. I like to
So-
drive fast.
I like to too, especially with the top down, going fast, music
Exactly.
turned up.
Yes.
That's it.
You know the
You
feeling.
and me both.
Drew's in there shaking his head. He's like, only 122?
Yeah.
Gosh.
What's the fastest you've ever driven, Drew? I want to know. On your motorcycle, I'm sure.
173 radar at Fontana.
Oh, so you were on a racetrack.
I was on a racetrack.
Okay.
with-
On a
That's
motorcycle?
different.
yeah, it was the first time I was on the banks.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
What'd that feel like? Freedom or fear?
a little of both.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is when you're going into the banks, it looks like you're going into a wall because of the angle.
Oh, sure.
And
sure.
it really screws. It took me like 3 times before I could actually get on there, but I remember that. And then I got passed by a buddy of mine doing about 190, and I got off the track.
You're like, I'm done.
I'm done.
Put a fork in me.
But that was
I'm done.
my fastest
That's
official
amazing.
radared, and 173. So
Awesome.
not too bad.
Awesome. Are you going to answer the question, Carol? What do you feel too old to do that you still enjoy doing?
Roller coasters.
Oh, I love roller
But there are some roller coasters now that are so jerky
Yeah.
that I'm trying to remember where it was. I think the last time I was at Dollywood, I was on one that was just really going, ooh, 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 and it hurts your neck.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing
You
I
love
can
the
think of.
thrill.
I
thrill.
love the thrill.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
was
that
a
is
good
a good
answer.
answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Okay, so let's move again to another Thanksgiving question.
All righty.
What's the rudest thing somebody can do at Thanksgiving dinner? You want to start, Carol?
Not show up.
Not show up. It's the rudest.
Because it would mess everything up.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly just the setting of the table and all the rest of the guests. Like, why would you do something like
Right.
that? So
right. Has that happened to you before? It's happened to me before.
did they call?
Oh,
They were
And it
just
was-
a no-show.
It was a no-show, and it was a family member, so of course there was forgiveness. But yeah, it
Why?
Yeah.
I mean, why? Just
I
because
don't
it's
know.
family?
Well, they didn't even tell you. Like, they didn't even come up with a really good excuse, like my cat died or
yeah,
something.
not that I can recall, but things happen.
Oh, wow.
Things happen. But anyway, what about you, Tamara?
oh, I think complaining about the food.
Oh, wouldn't that be
Right.
so
It's-
awful?
if you work so hard and
Right.
people this is awful.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that coming up tomorrow night. Well, I'm first time with the moussaka, so we'll see.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
It's
hopefully
a
it turns
Greek
out.
Thanksgiving dinner. How
Yeah.
cool is that?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, complaining about the food, that would be very rude.
Has anybody ever done that at your table?
Oh, maybe in joking, right? In like sibling bantering kind
sure.
of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
this pie's awful. Like,
Yeah.
why would anybody eat this pie, right?
Yeah.
Like that's different than if
Yeah.
somebody's
Really
Absolutely.
complaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Lauren?
So we have a few like different Thanksgiving traditions. So this one is a little challenging for me. And along the lines of like making fun of the food, I feel like I have lived that because I once burned stuffing. Which I feel like is really hard to do, but it can be done.
Sure.
So I also think like for me, Thanksgiving is all about eating. Like I tell people, please eat your faces off this week. Like enjoy.
Right.
So I would say showing up and not eating.
and not
Like,
eating.
Oh,
Nothing.
actually, that's a good
yes.
one.
like, no, thank you. I'll just have water. Like, well, what? Like, this is what it's all about. You're
mean,
supposed to eat.
Go home.
Are they saving it for later?
Right,
Somebody
for
else's
when.
Thanksgiving
Yeah,
dinner?
exactly, because that's what you
Uh-huh.
kind of get. Like, oh, you
Yeah.
have something else,
Else
after.
going on.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. That would
Oh,
be very
that's
rude.
terrible.
This question was asked online, and the top 5 answers were showing up late, salting the food before tasting it. I hate that.
That was a Walt Disney test question.
Ah, yeah. Criticizing the food. Number 3, bringing uninvited guests.
Oh.
And using your phone at the dinner table.
Oh.
Number
Oh,
1.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
the
rude.
worst.
That
The
yeah.
worst.
All right, we have to take another break. When we come back, more conversations with Carol, Tamra, and Lauren here on Leza Live. So it can be easy to forget to make your health a priority, especially when you're feeling good. But ladies, that annual Well Woman exam is essential for women's health. Prescott Women's Clinic offers these exams with anything else you need. Whether it's birth control management, cancer screenings, health screenings, provided by board-certified OBGYNs and licensed nurse practitioners with 2 convenient locations, Prescott and Prescott Valley. Take time for your health. Make an appointment today, 928-778-4300, or book a consultation online at PrescottWomen'sClinic.com. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News, 103.5 FM, KYCA, Conversations with Carol, Tamara, and Lauren this morning. And we have another question.
We do. And okay, so I'm just going to ask this one because I'm not sure what it means. Tamara.
All right.
Boy.
No pressure. I have no
Oh.
idea what this question means.
Me
and
neither.
I
you're
couldn't
number-
tell if that was dread or seriousness.
How many times has your heart been broken?
Oh. Wow.
Wah, wah, wah.
And the reason I'm asking this is I'm not sure what that means. Because does that mean that it was a lover? Does it mean that something in your life happened that broke your heart? I don't know what breaking your heart means. So have you had your heart broken? How many times?
Yes. Oh, yes. And so I live my life with love and joy and gratitude, right? And so when you feel that and you live that way, it's really easy to get your heart broken. So with kids, my heart has been broken with my children, with past relationships, when a dog has died.
Yes.
I mean, so many heartbreaks in my life because I love so much.
Actually, that's a really good way of looking at it. How about you, Lauren?
First of all, I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't say there should have been like a lead up song to this. There's so many songs that go with like yes, like achy breaky heart. I mean, there's so many. So I feel like I am quite similar to Tamara in this. I have a very open heart, and so I also connect broken hearts with grief. So losing someone important. So I've had a lot of death in my life with people I really truly cared about, and I feel like that is gut wrenching and heartbreaking. I do echo what Tamara says. My children have also broken my heart at
Just this
times.
morning.
Just this morning. You are right about that. And lovers. Yes, I feel like if I'm not bringing my whole self to any relationship, I'm not being genuine, but that does definitely open me up for potential loss and heartache.
There's just one that I can think of that I can really pull forth as a broken heart, and I think I'm a sophomore in college. I am at the at Parkland Memorial Center Hospital in Dallas, learning all these great things, and I fall for one of my lab teachers who's a medical student, and we go on this lovely road trip together because he's going to a wedding, and he goes to the wedding and I fly back to Dallas. And just the minute I get off the plane, I pick up the phone in the hallway because, of course, we didn't have cell phones then.
Right.
And I dialed his number and I got, "I'm sorry, this number is no longer in service," and the guy ghosted me.
Wow, that might have been the original ghosting.
I thought about that later on because I thought
Yes.
it was before the word was even
You
invented.
could have coined the term.
But I didn't. I just had my heart broken.
Oh, that is so sad.
Oh, it got to be fine.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
would not have been a good thing anyway.
It all works out the
But
way
it
it's
was
supposed
a
to.
lesson.
Sure.
So did you
Sure.
ever have your heart broken?
Well, I was going to say, deaths. And, my mom died. Broke my heart.
course it
When
did.
my mother-in-law died 2 months later, broke my heart. And then the children, when things happen to your kids that you have no control over, I seriously feel the pain in my heart
Absolutely.
for my kids.
Oh.
Not that they were doing the heartbreaking, but that their heart was broken. And so mine hurts. I mean,
Yes.
I try to explain that to my kids that, a mom feels deeper than you feel for you in certain situations. And
So true.
yes,
true. Yes.
yes,
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys know that pain.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that when something's happening to your kids that you really can't do anything about
Yeah.
I
other
call
than just
those-
listen and be there.
I call those, they can go either way, but they're both mama bear moments.
Yes.
Where it's, like the loving and wrapping your, arms around your child, or it's I'm mama bearing you and coming after you.
Right.
Like there's those two extremes of that mama bear moment.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Mm.
That's mine. And we have to take one more quick break.
All
I'm
right.
sorry. I know. Stay with us. More Conversations with Carol coming up on Leza Live. Yeah, we're back. It's Leza Live on the News 103.5 FM, KYCA. Time for maybe one more question from Carol Chamberlain this morning.
Oh my gosh, time just flies
I
so
know
fast
it
when you're
does.
having fun with your friends. So if you were given the chance to make your one wish come true, what would it be, Lauren?
So I have to preface this with I tell people I live for the cheesy things, like the Christmas decorations, the Halloween costumes. I am all about the cheese. And every year when my kids ask me, what do you want for Christmas? I say nothing. And they're like, are you going to tell us you want world peace again? And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
And so I also have to own that sounds very cheesy as an answer. However, it also is, in my mind, like deep in, I want people to truly feel content and happy. And so it is, if I had one wish, it would be world peace. But I also recognize it sounds quite generic and cheesy, but I embrace like the pumpkin spice latte. I am that person.
I like
am
her.
that person.
I like you. That's good. That's
Okay,
good.
how about you, Tamara?
Building off of peace, this is probably one of those other ones around just health and well-being for everybody. I feel like there's so much suffering in this world, and whether it's physical health or mental health, spiritual health, or whatever, can you imagine how amazing this world would be if everybody had that health and wellness in their life?
Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
and the suffering, right? Like, oh my
But
gosh.
just think of the money that we would save as a nation.
Oh my
I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
What would yours be?
Well, actually, mine's far more selfish than that. And it's not particularly well, but I will tell you, if I had one wish for the balance of my life, it was that I would maintain my status the way I am now, my health, my physical abilities, that I would just keep on going like this and then stop.
Yeah.
That would be mine.
That's a good
And,
one.
You know, it's awfully selfish, but you're
Well,
y'all are taking care of the rest of it.
Well,
It's all
so
about
funny.
balance.
Yeah.
We
when,
got you.
when I read this question, my first thought was world peace, and then I thought, oh, that's cheesy.
Yeah, see? I own it. I'm like, yep,
I
I'm going to
think
own the
that
cheese.
everybody, that if we had one wish, that, I mean.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, scale it down. Then I thought of health. And I didn't think of health for everybody. I did. I thought for me. So I mean, we all kind
We're
of
good friends.
yeah,
You know?
for a reason. But yeah, I just put healthy. What would it be
Oh.
to be healthy?
Oh, well, there
You
you,
know?
go.
Yeah.
So I could add on there for everybody. Everybody be healthy.
But then,
Yeah.
okay, so
Wonderful. Well, we have about a minute left.
I just want to know what the funniest Christmas. I'm going
Oh,
to
the
tell you.
Christmas card. That's right.
I'm going to tell you.
Yes, we were talking about this yesterday. Funny Christmas cards, and Carol said she had two funny ones.
I had two, so I'm going to go quickly.
Okay.
So the first one is my funny cousin, great cousin, had a son who became a vet tech.
Yeah.
And so he sent a Christmas card out with his hand, his whole arm up the rear of a cow.
No, he did not.
He did. And it took you a minute to realize because he
What was
just
going on?
He was just standing there and you thought, well, oh, I only see one arm, and then you got
Then
it.
you got it. So if you know, you know.
You know. And if you don't, just watch Dr. Pole on
Yeah.
TV. And my very last one was one I sent. And it was Santa who had taken off his shirt in front of Mrs. Claus, and he had scratch marks down his back. And he said, oh, honey, I got him on the chimney.
Thank you all. Thank you so much, Lauren and
Thank
Tamara,
you.
and you too,
Fun.
Carol.
It was
Thank you,
great.
ladies.
Thanks for joining us.